Hello, good evening, everyone. Hi, Ash. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Bobby. We've got some people on the line right now. Good evening, everyone. Today, we are back with episode 15. We've got a very special guest. In case this is the first time you're seeing me, hi, my name is 𝙤𝙖𝙣𝙬𝙚, and I'm the founder of 𝙤𝙖𝙧𝙧𝙀. You know those people who are struggling in debt, looking to move forward in life? Yes, we help people like that. So, hi, Sharon, glad you can join us. So maybe we can do a quick warm-up, right? So guys, if you're listening, help me to type 1 if you can hear me loud and clear, and then share with us where you're actually listening from, because we actually have a special guest. But before I bring on the special guest, I'd like you guys to also help me to share this video, because one of the intention for us doing this interview is to really give strength and inspiration to as many people as possible. So I just saw this post on Facebook. Somebody was just posting of all those businesses that have been closing down. So the situation is really bad, and coupled with the fact that there's a lot of hoo-ha going on in the political scene, right? So that's why I've invited this particular guest here to share his story, as well as some of the sentiment right now, because I believe that nobody is spared, right? So we also got a special gift for you guys. Once you help me to share, type ebook onto the comment section, right? We're giving out a free ebook. This free ebook is actually worth 97 ringgit. It's actually a compilation of what I've been teaching in my debt management workshop. The book is called Secrets of Being Debt Free. So a lot of my students or participants were always asking, like, can I get the slides? So what we did especially for you guys is, instead of giving you the slides, which you cannot make use of it because you don't have the recording, right? We actually prepared this special ebook for you so that you can learn as you go, and you can refer back. There's a lot of formulas, there's a lot of workbooks in the ebook, right? So you just help us to share and type ebook onto the comment section, and we will give you this free ebook worth 97 ringgit. Cool. Yeah, and Alan will actually help us to send the instructions onto the comment box in Facebook. So yeah, help us to share. No, Sharon, help us to share in the Facebook Live, right? And type ebook there as well. Yeah, I know you're watching here from this Zoom window here, right? But help us to share, because truly we need to get as many people to listen to this story, because you may not know there's somebody out there that's actually feeling very depressed and feeling very down. But hopefully from the stories that we have interviewed so many people, it actually gives them a ray of hope, and also give them that energy to continue persisting and surviving. Yeah, thanks, Sharon. Hey, hi, Benjamin. Hi, Jeannie. How are you? Okay, so we've got a very interesting guest, a very shy guy. So I actually know him back when we went through our first business, or went through my first business course. That's where I met him. How many of you want to listen to somebody who managed to pivot out of this financial crisis, and even to the extent of buying one property last year, right? Say type 1. Yeah, because I'm going to bring him on, and we're going to get him to share his story, right? Yeah, because last year in September, I did mention that that was actually one of the best time to actually take advantage of buying properties, because there were a lot of below market properties, below market value properties. And as a result, he got out of his crisis and he managed to take advantage, which was which I was very happy, right? So guys, you want to listen to his story? Type 1, right? so I can bring him on. Okay. Or maybe they're actually busy sharing the video as well as to comment the posts on Facebook. Okay, we'll wait for a little while. So let me just share a little background of this guest that I invited. He's actually the founder of SCM Asia, which is a video production house. They produce documentary, as well as recently I've seen there is this advertisements by 𝙤𝙘𝙧𝙘𝙧, right, which is going viral. So Neo is a friend of mine who I met in my first business class. We met in Owner Circle's business fast track accelerator, right? And ever since then, actually, Neo has been somebody I always turn to, especially talking about business and making business decisions, because he's somebody very experienced in this area, right? So he's also a father to a twin, and it's very interesting because later we're also going to ask him how does he juggle his time, because if for those of you guys who know, right, doing video production actually is a very long hour type of job, right? And the fact that he doesn't employ any maid, right? So he also helps out in house chores and everything, right? So I'm also curious, like, hey, how this guy actually managed his business, then his family, his career, as well as his finances. There must be a secret, right? So without further ado, let's put our hands together to welcome Neo.
Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
I'll try to be as funny and entertaining to everyone.
Thanks for coming on. You know how hard is it for me to get Neo on this show?
Vaccination,
yeah, I know, because he's such a busy person and he's also very shy, lah.
Yeah. I can talk for a few minutes, but 1 hour, I'm quite scared, lah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so don't worry, bro. We're just going to chill and chit chat and just share your story, which is not hard, because ultimately you went through it, you experienced it, and we're all just curious. The intention here is to help some of the people who are listening, perhaps certain ideas or certain things that you've done, they can actually pick up and learn on for themselves, right?
Definitely. I hope so too. Thank you.
All right. So I was asking you just now, so you got your jab last week. So how do you feel?
Yeah, I got mine last week. It was exhausting as hell. Thankfully, I don't have like a lot of people had like fever and other symptoms. My one is just purely super hungry, super thirsty, and super tired. So I ate a lot at supper, at lunch, at tea, and drank a lot of liquid, and also slept a lot, almost sleeping throughout 48 hours straight. Sometimes it was really exhausting. But I didn't have fever, no headache, nothing. In fact, it was quite cool. But yeah, I'm surprised that people never say about thirsty and hungry. When I asked around, actually a lot of people are thirsty and a lot of people are hungry as well after the vaccination.
I went through my second jab, then I was very hungry. My first jab was okay. So thankfully I didn't knock myself out. My wife was also like you, 48 hours straight.
But no one talks about hungry and thirsty. A lot of people talk about tired, sleepy, headache, surprisingly.
Yeah, maybe our metabolism rate a bit accelerated.
Still young.
So just curious, I mean, maybe for the benefit of the audience, because many do not know what you do. I did share a little bit about SCM Asia. Maybe for the benefit of them, just share a bit of what you do as well as your company.
Okay, great. Basically, I have a company called SCM Asia, and we have 3 partners. of which Kaho, you know all three of them, Benjamin, Justin, and
You.
myself. Like, where's one more partner? Which is myself. And we have SCM Asia, and also we also have a company called 𝙗𝙧𝙧𝙧. SCM Asia is, as you said, video production. 𝙗𝙧𝙧𝙧 is related to virtual and augmented reality or mixed reality, AR, VR, and XR basically. Video production, in all honesty, it's stuck right now. Everyone is going through the same thing. To say that we are pandemic free is a lie, but we are stressed with pandemic also, but we managed to survive through lah. We are still surviving through. 𝙗𝙧𝙧𝙧, on the other hand, has actually grow a little bit, and they are moving towards a new technology, of which if you guys can quickly take a look at what's volumetric filming, it's going to be a new technology in Malaysia that's coming soon. Basically, we are bringing in the technology here soon now. Yeah, and I
actually,
think
you got to explain that, because one of the reasons why I like to talk to Neo is because his company do a lot of cool stuff. When I say cool stuff, it's like, some of the augmented reality stuff you see on the laptop, or you see on when people post on Insta or Facebook. His company actually do some of those cool stuff lah. So what's this new concept of volumetric?
it's not new in the world. It's not new in the world. It's just fairly new in general. Like how VR is not new in the whole world, and it's just recently it just bloomed all of a sudden. Yeah, it's similar kind of perspective. It's not new in general, but recently it's been blooming. When you do and shoot VR and AR right now, and use we have a Zoom right now, right? And they have filters, and those filters can track your face. Those are technically AR. These are like AR AR stuff. So what happens now? The newer technology allows you to use real life person or organic person, not just 3D or animated objects. So we will shoot, like for yourself, Kaho, we will shoot you in a 360 environment, a camera, and then people can just turn you around, look you up and down. Yeah, in that environment, that is volumetric filming. So the idea is that we want to use this to shoot, especially people who are valuable, or people who are VVIPs and so on and so forth.
Is it something similar to hologram, just like how we watch movies?
With this technology, the potential will be able to cast out to hologram. Yes.
Nice.
It all depends on where we are viewing it at the platform. The current platform we have is AR glass, the goggles, handphone, mobile, and hologram exists already, but it's very rough now, the technology. But I think soon it's going to come out with like those, how you see in Star Wars kind of hologram.
Yeah, well, I'm expecting
cool.
the type of technology that you guys are putting together.
On the way, it's on the way there.
Yeah, just very excited.
It's on the way there. Yeah. In fact, that will be something that's growing. That is growing right now, thankfully lah. Although video is going a bit of a downhill, but that side is actually growing. A lot of it is digital based. Yeah.
Is there any website, let's say if some of the audience would like to see or experience something like that, to get an idea like what is it all about? Because seeing is believing, right?
Yeah. Our current website is scm.my, which is our video production, and 𝙗𝙧𝙧𝙧 basically is TRUE_X and R, basically 𝙗𝙧𝙧𝙧, one word as well. You can just Google it and you can find us there. We are in the midst of revamping the whole website with Bike Bear actually. So it's on the way. It's on the way.
Nice,
but
nice.
at the current point of time, that it's being updated lah. But there's stuff there now. There are stuff there now. People can take a look at our AR and VR stuff at the moment. No issues. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since we're on this topic, right? Because I'm also just curious, I mean, in today's society, right? Actually, we all know that you need to have husband working and wife working. So I know you back then, how you actually working alone, and that's the reason why your wife is actually working. Taking a backseat is because she will take care of the twins, right? So I'm just curious, like, how do you manage your time in the sense, like, you don't have a maid, then you have long hours, right? And then I know you also help out with your house chores as well, just curious.
Yeah, actually, there's one thing that actually works for us very well since high school days, and we just forgot to use it.
Which
The
is
schedules that we have, the timetable that we always have in high school, and this is very hard time. This is actually it's super important. I do keep a schedule, and of course, I cannot follow to the dot. I will try, but sometimes things happen, then you just go off, and then after you go off, you come back to the schedule again. And I do have a schedule. And every time around, actually supposed to be like today now, I'm supposed to be doing dishes, for example. And my wife know that, I'm going to be doing dishes. And then today she gave me a green pass to say, okay, lah, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, usually it's like that, lah. Usually it's like that. So we help each other out. And definitely thanks to my wife, and most of the heavy lifting with the kids, she has been managing it. And of course, my doors are open technically. If the kids come by here, I will let them come also. They catch out, it's okay. So sorry guys if they come in. Yeah, even if meeting with a client, I will also just leave the door open because I want them to know that my kids are always available to access with me anytime. So
Cool.
unless it's something I really need to, then I'll close the door. Otherwise, the doors are always open. Then I follow a very strict schedule. Monday to Friday, every 10 a.m. Like yourself, I'm sure you have a huddle every day.
Yep.
And my meetings are fixed. Every Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. is my meetings. And every Friday, I have one checkpoint meeting. And every Wednesday, I have a checkpoint meeting with a different department. So to be honest, if I don't have this, I will go crazy lah. At least I know what to expect already.
Yeah.
That okay, this is happening. But I get very frustrated if I have to do a segue. But you know what? It's normal. You get frustrated. You do what you need to do, and we come back in track again. I think that's the best way lah to.
So what's the
go about.
segue?
For example, all of a sudden, we have a webinar to attend, to present to have a chat on Facebook Live, for example. But then you don't follow the schedule. You may be frustrated. Oh, yeah, I cannot follow the schedule. But it's a short time, and then done already, we go back to it. Yeah, and then every night, usually about 10 p.m., I'll read about half an hour. Yeah, if I'm awake, otherwise, if I'm too exhausted, then I'll just call it a day first. I'll follow as to the dot as I can, but if I can't, then I will do it again tomorrow. Yeah.
Cool.
Scheduling, basically like a super tight schedule. It's something that we use since high school, but we forgot how to use that as an adult.
I know that because right now you can't shoot, right? So I guess maybe it's not as stressful as before, but as a result, then the financial part is stressful. But typically, when you're shooting, maybe for the benefit of the audience, what would be a typical working hour day looks like for you? How many hours are you talking about?
It depends on the nature of the project. For the last time on the month of April, I was almost working for about 18 hours a day straight up. And then basically what happens is I sleep, I wake up, take a shower, have a bit of food, and I start working 18 hours. And then that was a routine for almost a whole month, around the month of April. Because that was a commercial, and the commercial in a period of a pandemic. And at that time, our minister, basically Finas, our filming minister, was open, close, and then SOP, no SOP, then change SOP, and then we had to be always on our toes. So the struggle at the time was to make sure the team was aligned together at a constant with the agency, which is our client, and the final client, which is at the time was it was done already at that time was Arabic, and it wasn't easy, to be honest. It wasn't easy. It was a whole 3 weeks worth of not following the schedule, but it was a necessary thing to be done. Yeah, it wasn't.
So you basically need to have a very supportive wife to anchor basically, right?
Yeah, definitely. I am thankful for the wife, and the family also came and help out a bit once a while, or once a week, at least once a week. Also, you feel some sort of relief, which is quite grateful for it, But the wife definitely played a big part. And I no doubt the team also played a big part. Some of the team, we had to stay up until 4 a.m. in the morning because of the next morning. Yeah, the next morning is a
Oh gosh.
delivery already. So we stayed up all day 4 a.m. in the morning. And then next morning, huddle is at 10. At that time, we were supposed to be in 15 minutes before 10, and everyone was there already on time at that moment. So they just pulled through, lah. Really, they all pulled through.
All like zombie lah.
So it was zombie, lah. It was zombie.
Zombie mode.
In retrospect, looking back, they really did pull through and pull their weight in. So that's why even today, even with the situation we are in, I will try my best to keep what they have at the moment, to make sure that they really deserve it, in that case. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Actually, you do have a very supportive team as well. I mean, from the stories that you share with me, and even like when you're pulling 18 hours and then it can be 15 minutes early before the huddle is really awesome.
Yeah, I have to say so too. Oh, is it my internet or is it Kaho's internet?
I mean, every business is impacted, right? Because of the lockdown.
Yeah.
Has it impacted your business as well?
Definitely it has, especially in video side there. Video side we have taken a dip. Thankfully, we had a big closing and a basically finishing of a project on Raya season, and that has given us some oxygen basically in the business to run until today. Yeah, so we'll be able to manage at the moment, so no problem. And because of the expansion of True site and that part, we needed some financial injection, so we took a couple of government supports and bank supports to bring in the new equipments and so on and so forth. Even that also hanky a bit because we cannot do any renovation. We're supposed to renovate the office. But,
I see.
Yeah.
So it's a good sign, basically, because you're expanding. It's just that because of the lockdown, then and the lesson of the activities, then you can't really do what you need to do.
Definitely affected. Hopefully phase 2 will come in soon, because phase 2 then we will be able to continue operations actually with SOP definitely.
Okay, so before we go into the gist of your story, actually we've got Chikun also joining us, Sharon. We've got Benjamin, Jeannie, Viva. My mom also is listening. We got Chun Lin.
Which Benjamin is this?
Your Benjamin now.
Oh, serious?
We got Chun Lin and we got Clover. Hi everyone. So you guys, if you can help me to share this video so that the stories that we are sharing here can help inspire and give strength to people who are going through their tough times. And when you share and you type ebook, we're going to give you a free ebook. It's my ebook called Debt Free, Secrets of Being Debt Free. So it's actually a format which we have been teaching in our debt management workshop, and we make it available for anybody who wants to get out of their situation. So let's get back to the gist of your story, Neo.
Okay.
Guys, if you got any question also, you can type in the comment box as well as the Q&A for our Zoom listeners. Then I'll leave it to Neo, see whether is it too sensitive to pick up or not.
Everything sensitive.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure everybody is also curious as to what happened when you went through your crisis, and then of the amazing results that you've gotten. So maybe we can start off with that background of your story.
Okay. Actually, this was when we already know each other, and before I actually engaged into the whole program, right? What I felt was that every single month there was some sort of financial stress with what I have left at the end of the month. Is like I've been living in a very tight oxygen. Although I've have a payroll in the office and some finances here and there, but always end of the month I've been feeling like a very tight oxygen. I never knew why, and then it seems like it's something wrong, and I feel that I needed to do something about it. And with what I can see with my savings, is a bit tight, here it's a bit tight, everywhere is also tight, like basically oxygen. And therefore I came to 𝙤𝙧, which actually helped me enlighten a lot of things, helped me put into perspective a lot of things differently. Definitely. Yeah.
For some of you who may not know, actually what Neo was referring to was I started the Profit from Crisis class last year, and Neo was one of the first people to enroll to this class. He is such a big supporter of what I mean, he truly believes in the vision of us really want to help people going through financial hardship. And just to give you guys some teaser lah, no? You see the logo that we first had in J Advisory. This is thanks to Neo, right?
Half-Life looking logo.
That is, I feel it's very cool lah, no? I mean, if I'm such a bad person talking about creativity, right? So I obviously need somebody who's very creative, somebody like a video producer, director, you know, to help me to do up that branding part lah. So I'm truly very grateful for what he did, because just a backstory to, since Neo is talking about this, by the way, I didn't pay him to say that, but just a backstory to this was that when I first created that course, right, I didn't, I mean, I have all the materials in my head, but I was actually having this challenge of putting it into slides. So I still remember when we signed up, I think easily 9 or 10 students in our first class. And then the day before, 2 days before the class, we were still trying to do up the slides, because actually I'm such a bad person creating designing slides. I only can come up with all the content and the calculation. So Neo is really the guy who actually stayed up until 2 a.m. at the time. I still remember, you know, to help me to design and do up nicely the first version of the slides, right? So yeah, that's why I'm very thankful as well.
I'm thankful to be part of the journey lah. Although my designs, I can say, is like a 𝙤𝙤𝙘 功夫, you know, the not very canggih lah, but you know, it's something lah. I hope that I've contributed lah. And thank you for being a part of the journey. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was fun lah. It was fun, and I get to learn also more progressively. So it was great lah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just backtrack a bit on the story. When Neo mentioned about oxygen, he truly means the cash, the cash part of it. So to him, cash is like oxygen. So
cash is oxygen to most businesses. So yeah, I'm so used to that terminology. My apologies if I,
yeah. So, but so what you're saying is that at the point of time, I think I still remember when we spoke was somewhere at the start of MCO, right? And when you came into the first class at the time, you were going through going through that situation as well. So I think this is as a result from being the single or what's that word? Sole breadwinner of the family. I think as a result of that, that's why you feel a bit tight here, a bit tight there, no?
Tight everywhere lah. Just the waist wasn't tight lah. The waist was getting looser lah.
Yeah, but after that, I remember you got out of your situation very quickly. Maybe you want to share like how or what was the trigger point that or your aha moment that you felt was helping you to turn around your situation?
It was the reason I find it a bit hard to answer, because it wasn't a single moment. It was like a accumulative of a number of things. Then I realized, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. Number one was to first identify it first, and then after that, when I then identify already, and the means of identification was actually when going through the course, right? The Profit in Crisis course at the time. Is it still called Profit in Crisis? Yeah, at the time. And the biggest turnaround for me was the financial compass. The financial compass was like, oh, I see, this is where the pipe is leaking. So I had some sort of finance jot down, but it wasn't as thorough as that. And when I went as thorough as that, then it was very enlightening to see and to know where is the actual pipe bojo ring. And okay, to be honest, even when after I done that, I also don't know where's the hole. And then Kaho, you was like, hey, yo, this is the hole here. This one, I have to point, this is the hole here. I said, oh, I see. Oh, I see, there's a hole there. And then I realized that, oh, okay. Then after that, I really know what was the issue that has been draining my oxygen month in and month out, month in and month out. Definitely the financial compass was the biggest turnaround point, with also some consult from your like yourself, the expert. I, as you say lah, I can do creative thoughts, I can chit chat, bora bora, I can do designs for you. But when it comes down to facts and figures, it may not be my best suit.
But actually, right, one of the common things that I always see with business owner, I mean, because I'm also a business owner myself, so I think maybe just to describe a bit to the audience, because they don't really understand how deep of a situation you're in. I mean, we won't disclose any figures, but typically when business is not doing well, especially like during this time, there will be cash is king, they always say, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So when the sales is not coming in, I think a lot of businesses, if they don't close down, I think one of the biggest bullet that all business owners have to bite is to do injection. If you have savings, then you inject whatever savings they have, because the first thing first, as business owners, we always think about staff salary first, right? Making sure the staff get paid first. And as an owner, we always get paid last, right? But normally we don't shout out, we don't say it out. But I think what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of business owner, when you exhaust your savings already, and that's where we see a lot of people taking up personal loan and credit cards, right? So I think a lot of the business owner right now are probably going through the same thing as well.
Yeah.
Right. So I think when you came into the class, I think it was sort of similar situation, but truly, there's one thing that I also did mention in my class, because as a business owner, we really need to identify whether it's an income problem or is it a debt problem. Right. So I think besides juggling on our own personal finance, I think that was the conversation that we had, besides making sure that you can clear off whatever personal loan or credit card that you have, you also have to make sure that the business continue to generate sales so that everybody gets paid, right?
Definitely. At the time, there were still sales closing at the time, the first MCO time. Actually, it was almost at the downtime of the first MCO, right? Was it before the first MCO? I can't recall already.
I remember it's somewhere around, the first class was somewhere around in May.
It was in between the gap.
Yeah.
It was in between.
Yeah.
At that time, we actually have new inquiries, new sales picking up. The finance was picking up, definitely.
Nice.
But definitely, like you say, knowing where the over leveraging, that is where it came from. Trying to find other means of money input coming in, definitely. Yeah, and thankfully for the financial compass, it actually brought me to enlightenment.
Enlightenment is a very strong word. Normally we use it.
Enlightenment.
Normally we use it religiously.
Financial enlightenment.
So I'm going to start a new religion. Yeah, but I love how you put it in such a way that when that financial compass is being there, it's like your dashboard like that, and
yeah, definitely.
And what I love the feedback that you gave at that point of time was that and there was this question I still recall. I'm not sure whether you still remember or not. You were contemplating. I mean, I think this is a typical question a lot of people will ask, I think especially about business owner and even employees, because you had some cash, right? And then you also had some personal loan. I
Yeah.
think the question previously you were thinking, because as a business owner, we always try to conserve cash, because we want to make sure that we can still survive, right? But at the point of time, the loan, as we all know, typically is like 7 to 9%, or some even like 12%, right? And I think the time we were very thankful because we had the moratorium. That was the biggest enlightenment for me, because it is unprecedented.
Definitely.
It never happened before,
Yeah.
ever. Even our parents' time never happened before, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So
Same.
I'm not sure whether you still remember that point, which I feel that is you were talking about the enlightening.
Exactly. That was the main point lah. I had to ask you, hey, should I do A? Should I do B? It's like almost like playing an RPG game, whether or not if I decide A and decide B, what should I do first? And that was one of the main turning points as well, definitely. And with that additional cash flow that I have from the moratorium, and that from your advice, we managed to plug off the Mojo hole that which was sucking out the oxygen at that time lah.
Yeah, I remember we managed to plug in that hole, and then it stopped you from bleeding every month after that. How do you feel after that? I'm just curious now, for the benefit of everyone.
That was definitely financially life-changing situation. I would say like financial life-changing situation. Definitely that was it lah. Yeah. And with that, and then with all the proper savings and expenditure, the 30%, 30%, 30% thing, I didn't follow it to the dot, but I try. I try even just by following as much as possible. It also helped me quite a fair bit, definitely.
Yeah, you're talking about 𝙤𝙧, the 33, 33, 33. Yeah.
Yes. I didn't follow to the dot, but but it helped also. Even that helped.
But I saw you took it up a notch there, because the financial compass was meant for us to be using it as a diagnostic tool as well as a compass. But I saw the last time you showed me you were doing like budgeting on a month-to-month basis. So that was quite impressive, Yeah, but
I don't do month-to-month now. I do quarterly now. Yeah, it helps. But definitely helps. Definitely helps. Thanks to that.
Yeah, then after that, I remember the part where there's this side effect that a lot of the people have. Just by the way, since we're on this topic, right? I just got a text from one of my mentees. Today, he just managed to consolidate one of his loans into a personal loans worth 70,000. So I think he saved almost like 10 to 20,000 in interest. So this is what I wanted to share, because we realize that there's this side effect of every participant that goes through our class, and then when they get to turn around their situation, would you like to share the side effect?
It's like the symptom to the vaccine of the 𝙤𝙖𝙧 vaccine. It was been a while ago already.
Just to recall that feeling.
Yeah. It definitely, I do not remember the exact word I used already, but it was definitely like lifting a whole boulder off the shoulder, basically.
Yeah, you used that word. You used that word. No, I'm asking after that. After that, what happened? How do you get that result of yours, which is very inspiring, although I was telling a lot of people, now is the best time to buy property below market. I don't think a lot of the people actually went ahead.
This was last year, you're right. End of last year. I think quarter 3, I start looking into observing the property. To be fair and honest, the whole story at that time, property also, I'm very new in the industry. To be honest, I never really bought like self buy a property before. Always like parents recommend that, parents buy already, then they want to call you, then I was just okay. But at that time I was hunting. I thought I saw a really good one. Then I came to you first, and then I did ask you, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And having that conversation with you tells me that I had zero knowledge of property at that moment, right? At that moment of time. And then I took a back seat a bit. I just put a bit of a reserve before I continue doing anything. And I look further on, although I put down the down payment for a deposit, I then talked to you already. Then I realized, Sailor, you're right. I shouldn't be so rash into making such a decision yet. I look forward for a different side of property, somewhere nearer. Basically, one of the keyword you were saying that sub it's about subselling and buying a new property, and the new property will require almost another 8 years, I think about 5 to 6 years before it can actually come to life. So it's a very risky decision to be made lah. So, and I look into a different property from SCP, is it? Yeah, and it's really near my place. It's like 5 minutes kind of a drive to reach, and definitely that will be a better decision. They also got a bit of cashback coming in. That actually helped me to leverage on the EPF as well at that time. So thanks for that property advice. And because of that property advice, I actually almost made into a wrong decision the first time. Knowing that I don't know anything, I sit back, I continued observing. What I did was I took the advice of almost once a week I will visit a showroom. At that time, we still can go showrooms. And sometimes I go to the same showroom, but a different agent also. Until one time, I took that advice. So I came here before I said, Nama, I bring you. But it happens a couple of times before also. At that time, it was 2 months or 3 months before I actually decided to buy that property that I have right now. And thanks for the access with you. I keep calling you. I know I was bugging you a lot to ask you a lot of advices, because I just want to make the right decision as well, definitely. And a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, I've decided to buy the one that I have it right now, but it's still coming in by the end of the year. Actually, I think by end of the year or early next year, we'll be having the key.
I just want to congratulate you first, although I congratulated you before. But I guess the reason why I was also very careful was because I have coached people when they get out of their situation, the debt situation, right? Then they got this very confident feeling. I was waiting for you to say the very confident, very positive, like chiong So
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of people who, as a result of that, right, went into making the wrong decision, and then went back into the debt situation. So I guess that was my concern at the point of time. That's why I wanted to share whatever that I know with you. As I share with you my story, I've made enough mistakes that I hope other people can learn from my mistakes. So
you also shared a property online once before as well at that time.
But that's very general. That's very general. I think that was just the tips and guidelines only.
Like general for me is encyclopedia already. To you, general to me encyclopedia already. But that really helped a lot also. But
good news. Guess what? Last year, when you were talking to me, trying to set up a class for property investment. Unfortunately, last year we didn't have enough people to form a class. So I'm glad to share that this month itself, we are launching a Double Your Net Worth class, which is a 4-day class. And that's actually the result and the feedback from not only you, but the other participants that actually went through the class. And as a result, they're asking like, I'm out already. So what's next? So we finally put together after 1 year, these 4 days. And I was just working on the slides this afternoon, and I felt that 4 days is not enough.
Information overload.
So that's why I'm also happy to share as an extension from it, because 4 days, as you went through it, the classes, right? We talk a lot about implementation and also about results, right? So that's why after the Double Your Net Worth, we also offering to people who are serious enough to come into a year-long coaching program. so that we can guide you, just like how you went through. Like, no, I'm sure there's a lot of questions you will ask. Like, I'm concerned, I'm fearful if I make the wrong decision. Is this okay? So at least they actually get the access to me, and I'll be able to help them so that yeah, they don't make my mistakes. No?
Definitely at the time, having access to you was a big relief, really. Especially just a call away, then it's superb. Yeah, definitely help a lot.
Yeah, I'm grateful that I can help as well, because truly when we hear a lot of stories of people making mistakes, especially investing in the wrong vehicle, especially property, it's very hard to get out of the shit.
Yeah, I felt that if I would harshly chong and make the first decision, it would have drastically turned the other way. Now to think about it, yeah, it would drastically turn the different angle. Yeah, definitely. With this current the direction that I'm heading right now, I feel much better with more confidence as well, and it's more comfort level as well. And knowing that the developer also is somewhat quite trustworthy. Okay.
Reputable, because developer
reputable,
profile is somewhat very
strong.
important.
Yeah, very strong.
We've got Lowen on the line. We've got Ken as well.
Lowen.
Yeah. Hi, Lowen. Okay, so yeah, she just came in. Any question, guys? If you can, if you've got any question, feel free to type into the comment box. Because you know, who knows, maybe the question you type, maybe Neil will pick it up and answer it, right? FB, you just type in the comment box. For Zoom, you just type into the Q&A there, and we'll answer whatever questions that you have. Okay, so then after that, what's your plan now? I mean, since last year when we first talked about buying property, now that you've bought your property, so what's next for you?
Actually, we have been looking into unit trust. Although I haven't committed to it yet, I've been just like window shopping here and there, window shopping here and there. Definitely something that really piqued my interest is the equity of US equity. Actually, it's quite steady, quite steady. But I haven't committed to yet. I just window, being very careful to yeah, being very careful to put my foot into it. Yeah. But even so, I think these are those investments that are extremely long term, probably about 20, 30 years, kind of a long term thing going on. Yeah. That will be the next step, definitely.
So these are the investments you are putting mainly for your retirement,
savings,
or education?
Retirement savings, like retirement funds. Yeah, definitely retirement funds. Basically, it's a alternative from EPF at the moment, because as a business owner, we have decided to not have EPF, and because I want to use that money to leverage in opportunities like this as well. For basically maybe for investments or etc. etc. Definitely a better choice.
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
That's for the future, definitely. Yeah, enough of property for now.
Yeah. There's a lot of opportunity right now. In fact, like even Bursa is actually down. There's a lot of opportunity, because recently I went through another webinar. They were comparing in terms of the price to earning. That means how cheap of a valuation KLCI is as compared to the other market like Singapore, Exchange, Indonesia, Thailand. So right now it's actually quite a good opportunity if you know and you have the funds to invest on. Yeah,
definitely. At the side, because of my wife, and we went through this together, she's actually helping me out with that as well on the stock market side. Of course, it's from the courses that we went through with you, based on the couple of principles, and also
she never asked me that. She no question so far. so I guess no question means no action.
Yeah, observational at the moment. She's just observational, but I have some funds in Rakuten there already, so we just use it as a savings and trying to position a portfolio. And definitely Justin, my cousin Justin, he also seasoned guy. He also been having a chat with us once in a while.
Nice,
And
nice.
yeah, he also
I
really
heard,
appreciate the course. Yeah.
I heard he is doing quite well from his stocks portfolio. Is he listening today?
Not sure, not sure. But he's also quite grateful. He's not a new investor, but definitely it gives him a different perspective also from the course. Yeah, which is quite cool. Yeah, I think every different courses also gives you some golden nuggets. Definitely.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you another question, because one of the trending topics right now is a lot of people when they are struggling in debt because they are being laid off or getting a pay cut, right? So
Mm,
the situation right now is forcing a lot of people who are from employee trying to move to a self-employed or even starting their own business, right? So
yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to find out, or rather not find out, I just wanted to ask you your views, because I think when you first started, when you shared with me your lifeline, you never worked for anybody, right? You straight away went to entrepreneurship, right?
Wow.
What about
Got. But it wasn't very long. It wasn't very long. The longest it was about a year plus minus two. Um, Usually when working in full time, I'll be the first in last out one. After the whole year, I go, hey, why am I putting the most effort in office? Then I realized that I'm that kind of nature lah. I prefer to. I have this thing when I onto something, I really dive very deep. Unless I don't be involved at all, then I just leave it. Yeah. So with that nature, I decided to venture into business. And for definitely for those who are starting up now per se, um, I wouldn't think it's it's not going to be an easy path at the moment. At least if they have the big oxygen tank to burn, right? Definitely go ahead, man. Those who have that very big oxygen tank to burn and to invest is the best time to shop now, and they just hold it and let it run. But for those who like feel that because they lay off, they need money and they want to start a new business because they need money, it's going to be a challenge as well, definitely. But for those who want to expand and they have money already and they want to do different things and they already have the money, and the time to shop is now, definitely. Everything is much cheaper now. That I would say
because
that lah.
because
Yeah.
you've been in business easily for about 10 years already, right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So what would be the main difference in mindset since you already worked as an employee before for a couple of years and then you've been doing your own business for the past 10 years, maybe for the benefit of our audience, for those of them who because of no choice, they are forced into entrepreneurship as a way of sustaining, which I think is actually a good thing. It's not to say it's a bad thing, right? But
Yeah,
what would
definitely.
you say is that mindset since you went through it before?
I Okay, this is only a very personal opinion.
Sure,
But
sure.
I hope you guys say, hey, follow the, hey, not working, what harvest?
Personal
But
opinion, because different people will have different experience, right? So don't worry, don't worry.
definitely,
We won't.
definitely. Penalize me, hey, not working. No. Uh, the one I really adamantly kind of agree on is the business life cycle. Because at the different, if you guys want to know more what is a business life cycle, please go ahead and Google it. But the business life cycle definitely is something to tell you that in a different stage of your business, there are different executions that's needed and different both strategy and both execution that's needed to be sorted out. And to get to the next stage of business life cycle, it's also something that needed to be done differently. And at the end, before you die down, you need to restart the whole thing again. So I really believe that this is the whole circle of business nature. Even for SCM and TrueXR, for ourselves also, we have reached a certain stage. And if you don't open a new one for such like the like volumetric, for example, we
Yep.
will be running it like a new startup entrepreneur style. Everyone is a silo method. We just run as it goes. There is not going to be very heavily structured, but there will be some sort of structure, but the method of running it's going to be very similar to an infant company. And I think that circle of business culture is super important. So for those who start up, maybe you can take a look at the business life cycle and see what's needed at the startup stage, and how do you push yourself to the next stage. And very importantly, once you reach to a certain stage, don't be comfortable. It's time to restart again and be a startup again. I think that's super important. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also want to ask you this question because this is a trending topic because right now there are a lot of people are being forced into solopreneur because like you say you said it very well. In fact, to invest into a business right now, you need to have sufficient oxygen to burn.
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
So naturally, a lot of people when they're looking to make sure they can supplement their income by going into certain areas, doing solopreneur kind of job, right? Because I just wanted you to maybe go back a bit, because I'm sure you went through the progression from an employee. Maybe you started off as a solopreneur,
I
maybe
see.
doing SAE, remember? And then eventually you get to where you are right now, having a business, because that whole mindset of the three progression is totally different. But I mean, if let's say if somebody were to say, hey, I want to go into solopreneur, and because you've been there, done that before, what would you advise the person to do, or what would you advise the person to look for to kickstart?
I have to say that this answer would be different if you ask three of us as partners.
Yeah.
Because
That's why
we
I'm
went
asking
through
you.
it differently. If you ask Ben, he will answer differently. If you ask Justin, he will answer differently as well. Because three of us went through it a bit differently.
Yep.
One of the main key point that I would say is to just don't give up. And when a point of giving up, usually the give up point is, it means there's something wrong that need to be resolved, and take it as a problem and resolve it lah, and work extra hard. Last time when as full time, I took a pardon my language, bloody bold step to hop into business. We almost work almost like a 24-hour cycle, and we
Shit.
maybe sleep momentarily at a couple of hours. Even Ben also he was doing the business and had a full-time job at the same time. So in the day that you were working, and that you were working with us. So similarly, when I was there, we were just grinding it like shit lah. I mean, excuse me, because we are sorry, I'm media guys. Be straightforward. Straightforward.
Yeah,
Basically, it's
that's why we love the media guys for the authenticity, man.
be straightforward a bit on our language. We're not bad people, but we are the gut a bit.
Yeah. That's why I can relate.
But at that time, it's really almost running a 24-hour cycle. And then probably if you get a chance to just close your eyes for a couple of hours and then open your eyes and continue doing it. Just imagine if it's a product to sell, from the designing of the product to the printing also ourselves do, to doing the material of doing the product also ourselves do. Or because we are in the service base, so us, it's designing the thing we ourselves do, coloring the thing we ourselves do, shooting the video we ourselves do, editing the video we ourselves do, deadline the video we ourselves do. So definitely it takes a toll on you physically. But I don't know why, even at this current point I still feel very young. So even when on a few months ago, I still managed to stay up with the team until 3-4 a.m. Is that
Cool.
adrenaline? If you are really into it, then you will definitely strive to it lah.
Would you say that is also because of you're working on something that you love doing?
I always believe to don't it's very hard to sustain doing what you love for long term, but it's easier to learn how to love what you do. Definitely.
Learn what you love to do.
Learn how to love what you do.
Okay. Wow, very chim.
Because that is the main reason why when I do something, I get into things like societies of stuff. I will really dive deep into it, and I will really go all in, or don't go at all.
So the lesson for today is, don't fall in love with what you love to do, but learn to love learn to love the thing you do.
Yeah. Learn
No,
to love.
I can
Yeah.
relate to this. You know why? Because there is this new tagline that says that passion may not be profit. Passion
Yeah.
cannot really
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
push us through monetize to the
Exactly.
point of survival, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
there was this other guy that was actually saying that screw passion, and he went back to look at what he was good at, what he's good at in terms of
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
skill set, right? So that's why I wanted to get your opinion on that as well, lah.
Yeah. One of the values that we want to have in us also is to be naturally curious, because we are filmmakers. We shoot from construction lah, from medical, from into the jungle, and from trainings. Boring as lawyer stuff also, we don't know what the heck talking about. But if you are naturally curious about it, you definitely find passion, grow to like it lah, basically. And definitely to learn how to love it is something that is very essential value lah. If the person is sort of like day and night will find problems to every solution, then GG liao. If the person is a person that can find every solution to a problem, then better lah, a better perspective. Yeah, that'll be a better perspective lah.
Can you repeat that again? Because I think some of the people are a bit confused.
Because I know I've been engaging with the team sometimes, and then I also will tell them the same thing, and then some of them will be of course they're not no longer as such, but at one time some of them will be finding problem to every solution one. But it's very normal, because when we have a new solution, memang will have a new problem. Otherwise, it will get stuck there.
True.
Even innovation, when we innovate something new, there will be a new problem. But to dwell into just the problem is a problem.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. So you dwell into the solution of the problem, because
Exactly.
problem
Yeah.
comes whatever way. You don't really have to go and
Yeah.
seek for it, right?
It'll definitely come on. So the idea is to always delve into the solution instead of the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So continue, please.
sometimes it happens. Sometimes we'll say, even we provide them a solution. Hey, do you think this person will work? Then I'll say, okay, this person, I think this business, I think it will work if we do. For example, I'm not saying this really happened. This business will work if we do target those people who are actually quite okay in this industry, but they just want something fun. But then the person will say something, hey, but people fun are now very urgent or cannot find money. So how? So it's dwelling into the problem after problem. Eventually it will come to nowhere lah. Yeah, definitely.
I can relate lah, because I used to be like this. I think when I was younger lah. So now I focus on the problem. I focus on the solution to the problem, because problem will always come lah.
Thankfully, when I know you that time, I think it's not ready.
Yeah. That's why I say when I was younger lah. Not that I'm older now. I still look very young.
I'm sure.
So guys, if you can see why I'm grilling Neo, is because this is the part which I love to talk to him, being somebody who's humble but yet wise. He can go quite deep one lah, no? So we used to have a lot of this kind of discussion ongoing, and
but must have Paul liner lah. Must Paul liner, then be nice.
yeah, Paulana, I haven't had it for quite some time already.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Now I a bit miss the taste.
Same. Yeah, quite a
Yeah.
while.
So if you guys got any more question relating to entrepreneurship, I think it's good to also bounce ideas off with Neo. So far we don't have any questions. But if in the future, if anybody happens to listen to this video, ask the question, I would help you to direct this question to Neo. So last question, Neo, because we actually time's up already,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I managed to talk 1 hour.
Yay!
Achievement unlocked.
So one of the reasons why Neo is actually such a wise person is we like to challenge each other, because we have this a book a month. I think he started it first, reading a book a month. I think you read more than a book a month, right, Neo?
I slowed down for a fair bit lah for this season. A bit of a slowdown. But yes, I used to do a book a month.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now I follow a schedule instead. Yeah. I realized I want to spend more time with the kids a bit more lah when I'm home. So more time with the family a bit.
Yeah, so you are one of those people who actually inspire and push me lah to do my book a month reading. So what book are you reading now?
One biography, and I am rereading books at the moment. So every year around like Q3, Q4, I will reread main two books, which is the 7 Habits and the Think and Grow Rich, and I will buy different versions of them to reread again.
Oh my God, Think and Grow Rich. I read it once, then I cannot go through it again.
I got 3 of them, 3 different versions. Then just reread every year, just a different version. I feel I get something different. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. I think I get what you mean. Whenever we read the book, we get a different perspective, different learning. Yeah.
Now is the 7 Habits. I'm going through that. That's a heavy book. and I'm going through a biography as well.
Whose biography?
Ali.
Oh, nice.
Ali's biography.
Nice.
Access was on sale. So the book was 70 over ringgit original price, came to 20 over ringgit. Yeah, it was a deal. Yeah, so I bought the book.
Nice, nice. I'm reading 𝙤𝙖 Vaynerchuk's Crush It.
Oh, he is the guy that will chong nobody's business.
Yeah, yeah. It helps me now lah. It can relate a lot for what I'm going through right now.
He's the guy that will take something and just chong all the way.
Okay, cool. So before I let you go, I'm just going to summarize today's learning, because as usual, I always summarize 3 things that I learned from your sharing as well. I think the first thing first is really like, you mentioned it very well. Don't fall in love with your passion, but learn how to fall in love with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is very practical, right? Because sometimes I used to think that what I love doing, but if it doesn't pay your bill, then you're going to have a problem, right? Especially during these times. Second thing is I love how you always share, because you are somebody who's very adaptable. So just from that first sharing itself, you mentioned, right? Learning of how to love what you're doing. I learned a lot of being adaptable from watching you. Not from this webinar itself. This is just something that came to me, because you have to understand, there's a lot of people, right? They're very flexible, very moldable. Then they expect everybody to be like them. But then when you meet somebody like me like that, never change one, very hard to change one, because very high principle, there's a certain set of standards. It actually is quite hard to change one.
Is this because you know that I'm 303?
Yeah, because of that also lah. Then I study you a little bit more lah. Okay. and really the third thing is what you were saying just now lah. What was it? I mean, it's okay to make a mistake, because just like how you actually committed to the property, but after knowing the fact that you committed to a property which is not 100%, having the courage to go and retract and to solve the mess is something which a lot of people take it for lightly, right? But it's not everybody can have the courage to do. That's something I must say. So
straight arrow.
Yeah, so I realized by watching you, right? I actually learned a lot, because you are such a humble person, right? And when guys, if you feel Neil is a humble person, type humble. Because the way I ask you to share your story, you share it just like, just okay lah, just go by, but actually there's a lot of things which you pick it up, there is really a lot of learning from there. So that's one reason why I wanted you so much to come on to this show, because truly there's a lot of things that we can learn, because everybody is unique, correct not?
I'm still learning. Definitely, I'm still learning. At the same time.
So any last words before you, any parting message for our audience tonight?
Of course, thanks to the whole session and J Advisory for having me on board, and also the initial progress from the first day of J Advisory and today. I was being part of it, and definitely say it's in a great direction, and under your leadership, we definitely go far. So those who are watching, do know that I have benefited immensely from J Advisory. Both me, my wife, and the family definitely have. So basically, we are talking about COVID is a problem, and vaccine AZ is the vaccine. Basically, finance may be a problem, but J Advisory is your vaccine lah. Just know that there will be symptoms after that as well. So definitely consider it lah. Yeah, consider changing your life.
Yeah, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to serve as well. And for those of you guys who keep asking the question, why does Neo look so familiar? And that's because in a lot of our website, we use his testimonial video.
I still don't know how Jonathan Davis relate. I cannot relate to that.
Thank you very much, Neil.
Thanks
to all the audience who stay until this late. Remember, guys, help us to share this video and then type ebook onto the FB live chat, and we will PM you the link for you to download the ebook. Okay, enjoy, stay safe, stay strong, guys. Bye bye.
Yeah, stay safe. Bye bye. Bye bye.